Race has long been a conversation that Americans struggle with. It's raw, painful, and demands understanding and patience. Yet through film, there's a new avenue to have that discussion.
You shall pay, Black Prince. I curse you with my name. You shall be Blackula.
The story of the Black experience in film and in Black horror has often mirrored its perception in the greater American experience. Like in the 60s and 70s, when Hollywood attempted to capitalize on Black audiences through blaxploitation film.
But I think it's always important to note that blaxploitation is really complicated. But in terms of being able to, at a very Hollywood, very wide release level, subvert and make some jabs at how Black people have been presented, and really effectively create a sort of space of catharsis for Black audiences. That was a really big deal. And I don't think you see that more than with Blackula, which was the first blaxploitation horror film that really changed the game.
To become antisocial and kick your ass. You dig?
I'm sorry, I don't have any bread with me. And as for kicking my ass, I strongly recommend that you give it careful consideration before trying.
Yet in horror, even when given the leading role or portrayed as heroes, these stories only begin to skim the surface of the Black experience.
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here.
Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the food is part of what I'm fighting for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
In horror films, anxieties the white American public still hold about Black people can be truly highlighted, like with the covetous and dangerous love story in Candyman.
He becomes this sort of martyr for interracial love that makes him this storied boogeyman that white people invoke for pleasure, whether that's intellectual or sexual, by calling his name 5 times. It becomes, his entire existence becomes this oddly subservient presence that exists solely to legitimate his existence and legitimate his own pain.
When I'm late,
You are not content with the stories, so I was obliged to come. Be my victim.
As Black horror evolves and Black storytellers take the helm, more complicated stories can be told, leading to deeper conversations and understandings. Jordan Peele's Get Out being a prime example of a modern face of racial issues and anxieties.
Hi, I'm Roman Armitage, and if you're watching this, you're probably wondering what's going on. Well, there's no need to worry. Let's take a walk.
Chris gets to this white suburb and feels things are off, increasingly. And, he's told that, Dad would have voted for Obama a 3rd term. Everybody has this infatuation with Black athletes. And it appears like a very typical liberal, contemporary white family. But at the same time, as we see through Chris, there's all of these different things that just don't feel right, that just don't cohere. And we're ultimately, the Black audience, the Black spectator, is ultimately validated, both inside and outside the theater, by having those concerns that we really understand as, again, survival techniques, right?
Well, I find that the African-American experience for me has been, for the most part, very good. Although I find it difficult to go into detail as I haven't had much desire to leave the house in a while.
we've become such homebodies.
Yes, but even when you go into the city, I've just had no interest. The chores have become my sanctuary.
And with filmmakers like Nia DaCosta helming a new Candyman, There will continue to be space for deeper and more nuanced conversations about race.
You should say his name. I dare you.
Candyman.
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 Don't say that.